right, hello and welcome to an all-new episode of the Cardback Cafe with me, Frank.
And me, Jeff.
And that is right, we are back at it after a week off here, Jeff. Me and you have returned feeling fresh, revitalized, and ready to talk some toys. And we have to make up for some lost time because, as we've said constantly, we say it all the time, the news never stops here in the world of toys, action figures, and adult collectibles. But before we get into all the stuff we've got to talk about today, I want to catch up a little bit with you, Jeff, because, like we said, it's been 2 weeks. How you been?
Yeah, what a 2 weeks it's been. In a nutshell, it's been kind of busy actually on this side. You know, I've had weddings to go to, birthdays, holidays, concerts, and you know, just trying to find time for that R&R in between, all amid a very, very severe heat wave here in New York, and I think across the whole states at this point. It's been like a month long of just brutal heat. So that's that. You wrap that into everything, and you got yourself a summer. You know, what else can I say? But yeah, things have been going well. Happy to be back here though, back at home base and talking toys with you. So. You know, nice. Not going to complain there, but how about yourself?
Yeah, busy as always. Yeah, some of the reasons why we didn't do a show last week is because we're so busy. But yeah, right. A lot of work recently. I work, for those that don't know, I work in the world of sports television a bit, and it's been Wimbledon out here in the UK, so I've been working there. Long days. Nearly at the end, though. You know, we're nearing the second weekend of the tournament, so I've got 2 more days of work ahead of me, and then a little bit of breathing space. No more 4:30 a.m. wake-up calls, which I will be done with for at least a year again, so I'm looking forward to lying in a bit, enjoying some time to actually open up some of the toys I've gotten over the last few weeks, maybe play some video games, catch up on some TV, and in a few weeks' time, before you know it, Jeff, me and you are going to be in the same area code, in the same probably room, I would imagine.
Same room. Yeah, which is super exciting. I don't want it to go by too fast. Want to savor that it is coming. Summer has just been evaporating before our eyes, but yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. A lot of probably things to come for our audience too. You know, maybe some hunts or just some different little production gimmicks or something. I don't know.
Well, I imagine one of these where we won't need to each be stuck in a box. That'll be quite nice.
We should still do like a double screen gimmick though, like
same background.
We'll go in different rooms and
Or I literally just like reach over and it's like, oh yeah, I'll have that. Thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all happening. It's all to do SDCC or Comic-Con, as I said I'd call it, because I keep slipping up on SDCC, fastly approaching. But as always, it hasn't stopped companies from going basically crazy over the last few weeks. So we don't want to spend too much time talking about old news because we know everyone else has already mentioned a lot of this stuff. But, you know, we're going to pick up on some of the things that piqued our interest last week before moving into some of the newer things. So, Jeff, let's just get into it with some fresh, minty news over here. So,
let's do it.
Where are we going to start? Probably Boss Fight Studios, because one of the bigger news items that dropped last week that we were quite excited about was the new Garfield line from Boss Fight Studios, and they have now been finally fully revealed, the first wave of them. And you know what, we all have some Boss Fight figs. We know how well they do. This seems right up their wheelhouse. We saw the tease a few weeks back. Seeing the full reveals, I am very excited to at least pick up a couple of these. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, iconic comic strip character right here. As you said, Boss Fight does a really good job with their figures. And what I really love, Frank, is that if I just get Garfield and Odie, I pretty much have all I would want. So even if the line gets a little snake bit or doomed down the road or tired out, we'll have the 2 icons at least. But yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. What can I say? I'm sure you'll see these on my shelf down the road.
Yeah, well, that's what, and as you say, like, losing. I mean, I hope the line's successful. I hope they're able to make more characters for those people that want them. But I think, yeah, me and you both in the same boat. Garfield, Odie, happy to have those. Those are the ones that always sort of stood out from the cartoon. But again, I think we're probably in the same boat here. But out of the cartoon orange cats, Garfield was always my second favorite.
Yeah, I'm that street alley cat Heathcliff guy. Number one of the greatest 80s cartoon intros of all time. What a jam that was.
That was a
You've
tune.
got the man of 1,000 voices and Mel Blanc doing his voice. So, yeah, I was always a Heathcliff guy. That would be fun to see, too, because there's a lot in that gang to go off of. But I'm wondering, Frank, with this line, if they get deep into like the Garfield and Friends, maybe we get the little chicken with the egg on his head. Like that could be fun. Some of the barnyard animals.
Yeah.
That
was always my favorite section of the show.
Yeah, me too. There's just more going on. You know, he worked better with the ensemble than just giving John a hard time, ruining his dates all the time.
Oh, poor Arbuckle. Okay. But yeah, so what do we got coming out?
Pratt too, right? Isn't he doing that movie now?
He is doing that movie, yeah. He's getting his fingers into everything. So you can have your Garfield on a shelf next to your Mario, next to your Star-Lord, next to your whatever his vest name was from Jurassic World. You can have quite the Chris Pratt collection if you want. So the figures coming out are going to be Garfield, Odie, the two heavy hitters, and Nermal, who I remember always really annoyed me. So probably going to be staying away from Nermal, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Nermal.
Garfield's going to have 25 points of articulation. Odie and Nermal are going to have 17 points. And as you saw with some of the pictures there, they're going to come with a little host of accessories. I do love Odie's little tail wagging accessory. I think that's very, very clever. A good effect there. Yeah. And the swap out big tongue or just like teeth look for Odie. So.
Yeah. There's a lot of like... I'm getting a lot of Nendroid vibes from these figures, you know, which
sort
is
of like a more articulated Nendroid.
Yeah. Yep. Love the swappable options.
They also did announce this 1-to-1 scale Garfield did boss fight. A bit more expensive, $200. Obviously, it's a bit more of a statue if you ask me, but I guess maybe the head turns, but the rest of it doesn't seem to have that much articulation. But if you want a life-size Garfield, there he is. There he is.
Yeah, harkens back to those old Garfield phones, you know, where you had the big Garfield thing, which, who knows, I get the itch sometimes to want to go buy one of those dumb things.
So all your Orange Cat fixes are there from Boss Fight Studios. And now a couple of third-party releases coming our way, which, again, news from a few weeks ago, which was pretty exciting, was the Playcraft Toys Zombie Slim and Zombie Fat, which, you know, if I saw these and if I was one of these actors, I'd feel pretty insulted. But we've got some unlicensed Shaun of the Dead 1/12 scale figures coming our way. You know... What's there to say? A lot of these 1/12 scale figs, they look good, they look the part, and these two, apart from, you know, the articulation, I'm sure works well, but it's a bit on the ugly side. But as far as likenesses, accessories, it's everything you'd want from Shaun of the Dead, and we haven't had Shaun of the Dead figures since the NECA way back in the day, which obviously... had weaker likenesses and far less articulation, and their Ed never ended up coming out. So this is one I think fans have been waiting a long time for. A great looking set, as you said. The likeness is there. Soft goods looking good, and the accessory packings look like a lot of fun. So this might be the one and only shot to get this into your collection, and would be very happy with this. And just having that Batman soundtrack in 1/12 scale will be quite nice for everybody.
Yeah.
Not going to be exactly on the cheap side. The 2-pack here on Gun Damn It, at least, is going for about $162.99, so about $80 a figure. But you know what? There's a lot of quality in there, as we can see. Yeah. You can get the figures on their own as well. So if you only wanted one, which maybe you just want a Sean, maybe you just want an Ed. I think if I was going in on it, I'd have to get both, though. I think that's just how it works.
It's kind of a package deal if you are a big fan of this movie. Which, again, a movie we watched for the first time in Steve's insane asylum room.
Yes.
His apartment in Florida.
It was the only bit of color in that apartment.
It really was.
One day we'll have to. Oh God, I don't even know if any pictures exist. Steve probably has pictures of it.
I wish somewhere there was just like CCTV footage of the one day where we literally just lost our minds for a good solid 2 hours. And you don't see us, you just hear us.
Yeah, because he lived in this, a development, all the houses connected and like a nice pond in the middle and everything. And after a few days, I think we all just had enough. And yeah, those were some interesting times. But we'll get some pictures from Steve at some point.
If anybody from the Daytona area in Florida is listening, do you guys have malls? Because we searched high and low for a mall, so please let us know in the comments where these malls are.
Yeah, we saw one, or at least we thought we saw one. Maybe it was a mirage, but or we just
our mind
went down
just defaulted
the
to
wrong
a comforting
street.
There's a mall.
Sticking over on the website Gun Damn It, there was another third party. Well, I don't even know if you can necessarily call them third parties, but Mosho Toys revealed the Mosho Progenitor Effect. Oh, it's these names are always going to get me. Excellent
sound
class
like you were gonna
Takeda
say,
Shingen.
The Ken Super Mojo Dojo.
It's pretty much
Mosho.
that. It's a bit of a mouthful, but
Progenerator?
What it is a basically small scale version of a larger figure they did a couple years ago now. The larger scale one, lots of die cast metal, pretty big, hefty-ish price tag of around $150, $200, but this is going to come more into that 6 or 7 inch scale of the same design, and still has die cast parts, still comes with a load of accessories and hands, comes with a magnetic base, and I came really close to buying the full versions back in the day, and now, still, I would still look at them from time to time, still do that dangerous browsing, because I think they still do have them on Gundam, but the price tag always just, for something that doesn't come with a license, and we're not saying that every figure you buy has to be associated with an IP, but it's just like, oh, am I going to spend $200 on something that was just made up, as cool as it looks? But now I don't have to spend $200. They also showed off another version, another one of their characters, which is the Masamune, which is this basically a blue version. Why did balloons come up? How did I make balloons come up?
Good old Apple.
It's a party. So basically, these are the two guys coming soon, as they say. When soon, I don't know. It's got a metal frame. It's gonna be cool. Just to give you a look here on the website, these were the original ones. So I mean, $300 for the bigger versions, but not much was lost in the translation, I don't think, from these big versions to the small version. So they scaled it down really well. I've never got my hands on these kind of the items with the die cast parts in them, and I'd love to just see how it feels and moves. I'm always interested in like the Voltrons that they come out with and die cast, and it's always just that same issue, like the price and things like that. But I just love this idea of the die cast hardware on there. Die cast, it costs money. I'm trying to think. I thought I had something with some die cast, but probably not. It's probably, if anything, there's just like a little part here or there. On like some of my like Godzilla, like Mecha Godzilla figures might have a little piece here or there, but as far as like basically a big, like having a metal frame or die cast pieces. So I will hopefully look to get one, if not both of those, pre-ordered at some point. But speaking of people dropping down big chunks of money for toys that they'll get sometime in the future, we should revisit the HasLab, which is now feels so far in the past, but it did finish, and unless you were living under a rock, let's check in on the final numbers. It did end up passing, despite the slow climb, 14,737 backers, which meant fans got mostly everything, although they did miss out on the final stretch goal, which was this character here, the Wolfman character from the Cantina. So whether Hasbro decides to, be nice and throw him in, or he's a single pack figure down, I doubt it's the last we'll see of him. Is what I'm
they've
thinking.
got the mold, they've made him, I think for what this is and the scale that it's in, we talked about it. I think we said this was probably right around where it would finish, right in that 14,000 little and change backers. So for a slow start, I think it finished really well. So I'm glad to see that it's got legs. I'll be excited to watch reviews from those that did get this thing and kind of see how it all works. And who knows, it could pave the way for another diorama attempt down the road. Who knows?
Well,
maybe not. We'll see.
There were some more HasLab teases, and I'm going off book here, people, because I did forget about this, but there was a new G.I. Joe HasLab tease which just dropped. Here's the tease. Prepare yourself for launch. That was the poster. This logo here, again, not super familiar with the old toy line, but what people are saying is it's going to be a Cobra Rattler. Oh,
nice. I am familiar with this toy because my brother owned this model back in the day. Really awesome little toy. You've got the pilot seat. I think there's a gunner seat in it. Oof, yeah, I'm just seeing this for the first time now, because things have been crazy. So yeah, this looks pretty awesome. And I do have a little bit of FOMO for not going in on that Dragonfly now that I'm seeing more and more of it. Like, oh God, it looks so awesome. But I didn't own a house then. Now I do, so
yeah.
Do whatever the hell I want.
You can have a whole G.I. Joe war room.
Oh God, Frank, there might be 4 toy rooms in this house before we get finished up here with the old collecting.
No detail. Well, there is details. It's right in front of me. July 25th, 2024, which I'm gonna hazard a guess as it being Comic-Con. So more details at Comic-Con to follow. But yeah, the symbol here matches up with the symbol on the Rattler. So looks like Cobra will be getting a vehicle to match the Joe's vehicle. So definitely look forward to that.
Yeah, and the Cobra stuff's just so much cooler, and I can imagine this will have an awesome display stand like the Dragonfly has. Oh boy,
it's gonna be a big one.
I just heard my wallet run through the wall. Got out of here.
But just think, one day in the background of this shot, it could be one of those hanging from the ceiling.
I hope they just make them life size at this point, and I'm sitting in it the next time.
Well,
record the show from inside his tank.
What's the flag? If they ever did the flag in that scale, it would basically be a whole room of the house, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go over to one of our faves. It feels like we haven't given him love recently. I don't think we even talked about him in the last episode, but Toddy Mac, he's back. Couple of new DC Multiverse reveals here. Let's kick it off here with Clock King, Ragman, and Red Hood. And what were your any thoughts here? I'm not familiar with Clockman, but this really jumps out to me. I know it's basically just a blank figure with clocks painted on him, but the face, the weapon, the cape, again, knocking these capes out of the park recently. From the looks of it, and the belt. I'm loving the looks of this guy.
Yeah, me too. This is kind of what they do best, right? As you said, it's kind of a plain figure. You take a lot away, but they do just enough with those little dressings, like the belt and the head, and just how the colors pop. I don't know that I'll be putting this in my cart anytime soon, but I could see myself picking up down the road. Just cool that he's doing those zany characters now.
I know, now we're getting to like the... I mean, I've never heard of... I've heard of Clock King. I've not heard of... Was that Clock King or was that Clock Man? This is me losing my brain.
Clock King, right?
It is the Clock King. Yeah, fine. So yeah, I have heard of Clock King.
Clock King. Yeah.
Yeah, and Rag Man. That's it. And I've not heard of Rag Man. That's one I've definitely not heard of.
That's how I pretty much dress on a daily basis.
But again, look at this soft goods cape and the sort of strings and stuff. And again, a blank body, but you put the right paint and details on it, and if it lines up with the character, like the tatters on that are great.
Yeah, I don't know. They're kind of exposing soft good companies at this point with these capes and what they're able to do. Again, this guy, look at this guy. The old red hood.
Solid red hood there. And these are all going to be collector editions, so they're going to run a little bit more expensive. They are on pre-order. They were meant to go on pre-order as of the recording of this video today. So you should be able to pre-order those now if you want. But that wasn't all from the Todd Father, because there was a couple of more, and one that I didn't know was coming, because some of these obviously have been in leaks and lists and things like that, but I've got to say, the Batman 66 in the multiverse scale threw me.
Yeah. Man, Todd doesn't make it easy sometimes, because it's like, I'm finally content with this 66 collection and the smaller scale, and then this comes out and it's got the soft goods there. Likeness is looking good.
Probably, I guess, a bit more articulation, a couple more points maybe.
I could see myself just going in for Batman and Robin and this, but then I said that about the 66 scale line, the smaller line, and I've got all the villains. So, boy, Todd really knows how to get some mileage here.
The man knows how to, and he loves a Batman, let's be fair. So you've got Dick Grayson Batman and the Batman Superman fusion along with Batman 66. And, even the Dick Grayson Batman, like you could get that on the shelf and he could be whatever version of Batman you want. He doesn't necessarily have to be Dick Grayson Batman, does he?
No, I'm almost feeling like this could be a good one to fit in with my Alex Ross, like Justice League, kind of the gray Batman, the material with that kind of cape. Maybe a head swap. Make it look real. Yeah.
And then whatever the hell this guy is, I don't know.
That literally looks like he made that with fodder. Just it's like what I would do with my toys here.
The extra parts that he has lying around. So those guys are all going to be going up for pre-order on July 25th. There was a couple of more. So one official reveal from McFarlane that's pretty exciting is Bruce Wayne and Ace from Batman Beyond, a re-release of the old DC Directs. So keeping in line with that, this figure is going to be available around SDCC. It's not meant to be a Comic-Con exclusive, but it will be available around Comic-Con. So, that 2-pack that 3-pack technically, from back in the day goes for some ridiculous money now. So this is a great way to be able to get a hold of this figure. And, I know a lot of people will sort of be upset. Maybe they'll think it's going to devalue their stuff, but I think people know by now, there are differences. The originals should still keep their value because they'll always be the originals. So you can't let this aftermarket value thing influence your toy buying or your toy habits too much. That's a slippery slope, I feel like.
Exactly, and these won't be around forever either. So I could see them both being kind of sought after in the aftermarket down the road. But that original 3-pack is something I've often scouted on eBay, but it's just always been a little too out of what I feel comfortable paying for it. So I definitely want to go after at least, old Bruce.
Old Bruce
and Ace, everyone's favorite dog, Ace.
Oh, who doesn't love an Ace?
Every good dog is named Ace.
Well, you know what? if you want to put someone with those guys, you could potentially put this with them, which was showing up in Hong Kong. So we're probably not too far away from this gold label re-release of the Batman Beyond, the Terry McGinnis. Something, again, I kicked myself for a long time missing out on that 3-pack. And you know, we've got the DC Multiverse version of Batman Beyond, which is a really good figure. It's really cool, but when I think of Batman Beyond and Terry McGinnis, it's the cartoon. So I want those proportions. I want the smoothness. And this is it. Finally get a chance to get my hands on it.
Yeah, and it's looking. I'm liking that you'll be able to break down his kind of wings there and have him in both positions. Whereas that, you know, the first release, they were kind of sculpted into his back. Like you could take them off, but he'd have a massive hole back there. But yeah, like you, this is what I think of. So yeah, lots of exciting things here to look at.
No official info. Again, people saying SDCC will be reveals time. I'm sure we're gonna get a whole lot more reveals, but that, again, we've said it a lot, like that's what's great about McFarlane. When one of these things gets revealed, like we're already seeing inboxed in-hand pictures, so how far away can we be from them popping up on shelves? Like not a terrible amount of time away, right?
Yeah, especially with McFarlane, it seems like when he announces something, it's here like a month later.
So who knows? By the time this drops, maybe we'll find him.
I may have it delivered to my door before we even stop recording.
All right. So a couple of the old things. I guess this is probably the last of the old news. But to be fair, we'll just lay it out on the table right now, everybody. It becomes a turtle show from here on out. There's a lot of stuff out there, but if we talked about it all this week, this would be about a 5-hour episode. So we're going to become laser focused here on one of the bread and butter collections for both of us. Turtles, Ninja Turtles, and one of the picks that finally went around the interwebs a couple weeks back was in-hand pictures of the Playmates re-release of the Technodrome. And, you know, it's been up for pre-order. We've obviously known it's coming, but actually seeing it scaled with the original, we finally can put some little things to bed about size and everything. And so look, box size, like it is a smaller thing, which you know, I think we could all tell from the various pics that have gone out there.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a terrible downgrade. Like, yeah, it is slightly annoying that it's a bit smaller. There you go, side by side, original on the right, new on the left. It's not night and day, I don't think. No,
at the end of the day, it just looks like height is one of the biggest differences with size.
I mean, even like the eyes look the same, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I wouldn't be able to know the difference, because like even some of the color differences and sculpting differences, I think there's enough there to scratch that itch, honestly. Yeah, a little bit smaller, which, you know, it may not be a bad thing considering like space is an issue.
You know, it's quite cool because we've seen on the Playmates re-releases that sometimes the details have been lost. Like, Bebop's pants are all black into his shoes, but this seems like, all the stickers are there. It actually has some more color than
in fact
the
the color additions that they add. I like the bluer base versus the whiter base or the grayer base. So I like that they sculpted that all in that kind of color system. It looks like the treads look the same. I thought maybe they were a little darker, but yeah, I mean, it's all there for what I'm seeing, and I would be very happy with this in the display.
Yeah, and again, $80. It's up for pre-order now. I think it was still up. Was it still up on Amazon, or was it sold out? It looks like it's still up, scheduled to come out the 16th.
Yeah, I think it just came back to Amazon recently. Yeah.
God,
which that's another thing for collectors too. Just give it a minute, and it'll probably come back up and refresh. So because I was seeing the first round, it pre-order sold out, and then all of a sudden, everyone wanted, $170 for this thing or $200 for it. So just be patient. I'm sure there's going to be enough of these to go around as well.
Yeah, we're in a good time with collecting where there does seem, we have had those dark days where there didn't seem to be too much product.
Yeah.
And then
when it was
the
gone,
reverse of that, where there was too much product, and now I think companies have gotten wise and have sort of found their way, and they know if they want something to be limited, they'll make it limited. But otherwise, especially when you're talking to a company about Playmates, they're not going to leave money on the table.
Right.
They're going to pump out as many Technodromes as they think they can sell.
Yeah, exactly.
And a good companion for those remastered figures that we saw pictures of, and which are hitting shelves now as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So more turtles though. Let's go on to some newer news. New news. Super 7 revealed a lot of Comic-Con related reveals, because they're doing a couple of pop-up shops which they like to do around Comic-Con time. So Mikey's Pizza Shop is one of them, and there's a couple reveals that came with this. So Mikey's Pizza Shop, you're gonna get your Super 7 Ultimates Pizza Chef Mikey, a glow-in-the-dark scumbug, and I think the big news here is a new turtle van, a repainted turtle van, and I don't know what to think about this. I mean, we've seen the Pizza Time Mikey before. It is what it is, and I don't know. Some soft goods, some pizza. He's funny. He's Mikey. We get it. Glow in the dark Scumbug. Great. Scumbug is one of the better figures from the line. The glow in the dark thing they've done before. Not super sold on the gimmick. Like, as fun as things are glowing in the dark, I don't know about double dipping for it. But this turtle van, complete repaint to basically go with your Pizza Time Mikey. But this thing isn't going to be cheap. So I mean, the price on the original made people, balk and just sort of back up. Are people really going to want to pay the same price for something that never appeared in any version of Turtles, at least that I can think of?
Yeah, it is interesting that they're re-releasing this with a different, paint scheme on it. And I don't know what to think, to be honest, because you're right. A lot of people, including myself, were like, that first one's it's just a little too expensive for me. But you would think that if you were going to buy one, you're going to buy that original, right? Yeah. The one that's accurate. So, I don't know who this is for, Frank. I know you're a big Mikey fan, and this isn't even really doing it for you. So I don't know who this is doing it for.
I get, like, if they must obviously think they can sell enough of a limited quantity. For them it is just a repaint in essence. There'll be a couple of new accessories, as we said, with the Mikey, but it seems like a bit of a cash grab. I can understand a $50-$55 re-release figure, and again, even that is sometimes rough, because it felt like back in the day Comic-Con exclusives had a bit more, I guess, unique tooling, uniqueness to them, whereas these I don't find the uniqueness there. So I don't. And again, maybe that's just us. We're not that target audience. I'm sure there is that target audience out there who can't wait to get their hands on these. But for just being glow in the dark, or just having a different paint scheme, or just having a soft goods, cooking apron. It's not doing it for me. Not too much to. What's doing it more for me are their reactions that they showed off, the sort of Mikey's Pizza Shop reactions. Bebop, Rocksteady, Shredder, Undercover Mikey, but again in some really cool packaging. Like that, to me, I can get down with that. Am I gonna go after him? I don't know.
See him hanging on those Target pegs if they're out there. Which also is kind of a head scratcher, because they haven't done an Undercover Don in the main line yet. That you would think that would be kind of a layup, but they haven't done it. They did Raph and his going out gear, but I don't know. We could We could talk all day about that, just in general. Super 7's
Questions. Odd choices with the turtle. I know there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, but yeah, definitely been a line with its ups and downs, and definitely more. I think it's fair to say a few more downs recently than ups. There's still good releases. You know, got the Wingnut here. There's a new wave, I think, on the high seas now. The Gorilla wave might be getting into people's hands soon.
Jeez, that feels
the
like
Karai wave will be
3 years ago.
That one had some big old issues, I think.
Yeah.
So
was that the Rat King wave too, where they had to like walk that back? There was somewhere. It was in that whole time was kind of messy.
That's the thing with all the shipping issues and supply issues they had back in the day. I can't keep heads or tails of it anymore. But those exclusives are going to be available at Comic-Con, and then there'll be a limited amount made available, I believe, on the Super 7 website following Comic-Con on the Monday. Could be wrong. Might be wrong. Probably wrong. I tend to be wrong with a lot of this stuff.
Comic-Con has been like 2 months in the making here, so like, it's understandable that our brains are a little fried trying to keep up with it all.
I just wanted to get here now because I've had enough of exclusives and reveals and that.
Imagine what this show. I can't imagine what's actually going to be revealed if we've already got all this stuff.
Let's stick with Turtles, figure that we've seen revealed already, but now up for pre-order is the Rage Toys 1/12 Gullen Bustry. We'll say, you know, he's a familiar face, right?
Yeah.
He's not without a familiar name. Part of Samurai Force Wave 4. Obviously, we've got our big old piggy friend here, and he's looking great. And the price is also looking pretty good. A $10 deposit, and the figure and the kit $70 in total. So this is what you're getting. The base form of the figure is, you know, the Samurai Force version of this character, the non-IP infringement version of this character, who as a toy all by itself, remove Turtles from it. Everyone's been saying it, just a cool looking toy.
Right. Yeah.
Cool weapons, cool accessories.
The Turtles have looked, just such a unique, nice take on it. Original. And
then, I mean, you put the accessory kit into the matter, which is all of this stuff, and then now we're talking. Now we're
really getting into something. And also, I was so kind of surprised to see this, how it scales, as we can see right there. I'm like, this is going to be a pretty big boy, and I like that. I'm here for that.
Yeah, because they're, to be fair, like, you know, one of the complaints about the Turtles figures that they are on the small side. I quite like that.
They're right around 4 inches, would you say?
Yeah, between that 4 and 5. Again, Donnie's a bit taller than the Leo was. But it's never been, you know, we've said this before, is that we've never been too bothered about, you know, I don't need Turtles from one company being in scale with Turtles from another company. Right. I'm completely happy having these Turtles be a bit smaller. Like, to me, that makes them even that much more impressive, that they've got the detail, sculpt, paint, accessories, soft goods in such a small package. But yeah, I mean, this Bebop scales with that, but also even with the Mezcos, which are obviously a bit on the bigger side, and probably going to scale very well with your Super 7s and your NECAs. So, and just the detail.
Yeah, I'm loving this guy. Man, Bebop, man, something about that look, it really connects.
I can't wait to see what they do with Rocksteady. If it's anything like this, and we said it in a past episode, like, it's the perfect amalgamation of the cartoon, like the things that worked in like the second Michael Bay produced one. Like, it's the best of every version of the character, like, rolled into one.
They do, like, the detail on his gut there, it really looks like flesh, like a big fat ball of flesh. Like, I can touch it, feel like skin. Like, the sculpt it's incredible. Yeah.
And
it
just
truly
judge
is.
from the other releases, I think what we're seeing here is basically what you'll get when you order this as well. Like, there's nothing that they've showed me from past releases, from pictures to having it in hand, that would make me feel like this wouldn't be a great figure. And again, as we're saying, 70-ish with shipping, maybe without shipping. It's on 5K Toys. This is on Toys Metaverse, but it's out there for pre-order now. You can probably get it, as you said, anywhere between probably 70 and 80, which seems like a pretty big steal considering what you're paying for an Ultimates figure, right?
Exactly. 100% agree.
We're still going. We're not done with the turtles yet. We're going to revisit some more SDCC exclusives. Some that we've visited previously with some pictures of the boxes, but now we actually have some better pictures of the Loyal Subjects Comic-Con exclusives. So let's quickly dip in just to get a little bit better look on these figures. The NECA here, looking good. Not particularly familiar with the character, but cool to get another turtle. Definitely cool to have a new female version of the turtle. Well, not a version, but a female character that washes the taste of Venus out of people's mouths. Definitely like some of the design choices here as well. Then we've got the Foot, was it the Foot Ultimate or the Foot Elite? The Foot Elite, which is beyond just being a cool Turtles figure. It could just be a cool figure. Like it could fit in as like a henchman goon style figure for a lot of toy lines. Like when I saw it, it reminded me a lot of the hand ninjas that Marvel Legends were doing.
Right. Yeah.
Just that whole Japanese Oni style masks and all that. But these were the ones that were always jumping out. I say only one of them was jumping out because we've got the Donatello. We don't need another Donatello. But the Metalhead, finally getting a better look at that. And I'm liking the Metalhead.
Man, he's looking good. Yeah. It's just really coming together nicely with how it's sculpted. And then, if that silver paint translates. I love this Return to Oz gimmick, the people with the wheels on their hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. But it's so cool. It's such a cool take on it.
I wonder if those wheels spin. Are we thinking those wheels spin? And it glows. And it's a good glow. And what it said 5 minutes ago wasn't cared about. Didn't care about glowing.
But I love it because it doesn't look like a glow-in-the-dark toy when it's not glowing, which I really appreciate. It doesn't have that weird translucent to it. So, this is looking really good. And I don't know. If those wheels spin, I mean, that'd be next level. That'd be great.
They're all up for pre-order currently at Big Bad Toy Store, so it's definitely good if you want to get them. What are the prices?
like we spoke off air, get ready to see a bunch of those Donatellos on eBay for way too much.
They're not even that expensive as well. So the 2-pack is $40, and the 2 single release figs are $30. Again, what's great about the Loyal Subjects line is you are going to get in a little bit lower of a price, and you're still getting some, dynamic figures with some unique looks to them that we haven't seen other companies touch yet.
Yeah, it seems to be like they are improving too. They continue to evolve and improve and make just better looking figs. And at that price point, now's the time to buy them up.
Well, if you want your Turtles to be a more classic feel and you missed out on a certain 4-pack, NECA's back with individual releases of the Mirage Turtles, the Jim Lawson Turtles. Yeah. These are going to run about $37 each. They're up for pre-order basically everywhere, but breaking up that 4-pack that seemed like it was quite hard for people to track down and giving us single releases. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm glad that people can get it. I think we've talked about these guys before. I'm sort of we're not too bothered about these potential versions. They are cool. But there doesn't seem to be a heck of a lot different from the 4-pack, and I've seen some other, people in the community saying this is to me, this is a missed opportunity, and to a lot of people, a missed opportunity to not do these with the colored bandanas, I think. That might have pushed me more toward wanting them, because as cool as the all red look is, it's just not what I grew up with and what I want from my turtles. That's why when bought the the bootleg versions of the original Mirage turtles, I wanted the colored bandanas. That's
right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, everything you said, I just echo, because I mean, I like these. They're cool looking, but didn't get them the first time around, and I don't even know that I would just get my favorite turtle out of this line. But as you said, Leonardo comes with a blue bandana. Maybe it's a different story, and I just get one. But definitely, as you said, happy that people who missed out get a second chance, and love that NECA will often do this for their fans, for the collectors, because it is important.
It feels like as well we're at a point where I'm trying to remember if we've seen them do this before, but they've done the swappable mouths and the swappable eyes. Like, they could easily do this. They could easily include the swappable. I say it as someone who doesn't work for the company and doesn't know how the budgets work or how toy engineering works, but it feels like they could easily do the swappable bandanas and almost have a red option and the colored option.
Exactly. Like maybe just the top portion of a head comes off and sticks on, or doing ultimates where it comes with all 4 different colors. So you go, I could buy this one figure and switch and swap out, or they can make you double dip and buy 4 of the same figure and just put the red on.
I think that's the thing that gets me with the red bandanas. I know, like at a base level, I know they're not all the same turtle, but because of the cartoon, because of the movies, because growing up in that era, it feels like I'm buying 4 of the same figure.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just, there's nothing for me, like, other than just wanting to honor the original, be a purist, and have that in the collection. There's nothing, interesting when it's not the different colors. So
and if we bought every version of the turtles by every company, like we do near enough of it, but if we did like some people out there who do it all, more power to you, and you guys probably have some really great jobs and massive houses. But I can't do it. Cannot do it. There's too much out there.
You have to draw.
But one figure that is being talked about, been leaked about, and is now apparently out there, people are finding it, is one that might interest us, and that is the movie Tatsu. It's been a long time coming, but it looks like it's finally real, and it's looking really good. It's looking great.
It happened so fast. Like, we went from never gonna happen to, oh, it's happening, oh, it's out there. This is definitely one I want to track down and put in the collection. He's a nice, again, one of those characters. He'll bridge the first movie into the second movie, so he works in both that display. Looks really good. Just hoping I can get my hands on one here soon. And what a massive looking box, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like their sort of window box has gotten a lot bigger. It's because you compare it to like their comic release figures that aren't like the window box now. It did seem like it comes with a lot of accessories, so it'll be cool to see some more info when it becomes available. Another figure, again, we're sticking with NECA. NECA's very busy here with the turtle news recently.
Is this NECA's? I don't want to speak out of turn, but could this be like their last firework display, the finale of the turtles?
Last hurrah.
How much do we get into? Well, the thing of course, then 2012 comes out. And like,
the thing that's like crazy to me is that if all this is the stuff that's showing up or being revealed before Comic-Con, they normally drop a whole bunch of reveals at Comic-Con. So maybe
we could have an episode where we talk about most desired or things that we want to see. But there's a lot from NECA that I'd like to see. And I'll hold that close to the chest in case we decide to, keep the listeners in suspense here.
This might be next week at this point, because we are fastly approaching. But
it is coming.
Another figure that was shown off recently, well, the figure wasn't showing off itself, but it was teased on the back of another figure's box art. But now is again apparently just showing up is Karai as the Shredder, again from those early comics. Not a version of the character I'm familiar with, but still cool nonetheless. Female Shredder. Karai is one of those characters who, you know, transcends all versions of the franchise. Loved her in the 2012 series. Loved her in some of the comics like Last Ronin and everything like that. So just really cool to see this version of her, and to have the display options with the masks on, without the mask on, just looking really good.
Yeah, I really like this figure. And if I see it out, I think this is one that I would kind of snatch up, because I love that it comes with that option for the Shredder kind of mask. And it just looks really cool. What else I say? It looks really cool. I feel like Jeff brings nothing to the show other than really cool, but you know, a lot of this stuff is. It's just really cool.
If it's cool, it's cool, and this, it's kind of cool. But NECA, not done. Let's last bit of news here. Again, we missed a lot. We get it. We know. But Comic-Con fast approaching. We're not going to run out of anything to talk about anytime soon. But NECA with 4 Last Ronin reveals, and pretty interesting ones. There was one there I didn't expect. One I think we've heard rumors about, and then a couple which have been out and about here or there. So started off here with the Sninja, which is always fun to say. Or is it Sinja? I'll say Sninja because that just sounds funny.
Sound.
The 2-pack here with the white and the colored version, and different head sculpts, mousers, swords. Again, the colored version was the first Last Ronin figure I got, and just blew me away back in the. I say back in the day. It was probably less than a year ago, right? Or maybe just
back
over
in the
a
day
year ago.
Toy terms, the way they come out these days. Yeah.
But looking good, you know, a way to army build, definitely. And what's cool about the black and white versions of these characters are it's not just like an artistic figure choice. There were black and white versions that appeared in the comic, so there is a reason to have those as opposed to just having a different sort of color version that didn't exist. So army builders out there, something to get excited about. And if you don't want to get another colored one, you can just buy one of the black and white ones coming up, and I think I just may, because I like that stark look. I like having a reason to have a black and white figure as well.
Like that, and I don't think I have anything really like this in my collection that's as stark as this, the contrast. So yeah, it's really cool. And I did not pick up that first one and kind of regretting it. So I may even go in on that 2-pack just to play a little catch up here.
It's definitely worth it. 2-pack's gonna go for $70, and then the single is gonna go for $37-ish. Also revealed is an accessory pack, which is just really cool because you know, missed out on the movie accessory packs, and it was that same thing of like, missed out on the cartoon accessory packs because all of those sold out so quick. I really wanted the cartoon accessory pack that came with the TV and the baby turtles, but that annoyingly has not been re-released yet. But anyway, the Last Ronin accessory set looks very cool, coming with a Fugatoid, like a busted up Fugatoid. Another Last Ronin head sculpt, a couple of Sninja head sculpts, the vest, so you can actually create a new version of the Sninja. What do we got? A manhole, a street sign for Sullivan Street, a massive sword. Well, you know, again, I love what they're doing. I love that they're doing these accessory sets. Like, in addition to obviously vehicles and play sets, you can just build out so much now that I never thought we'd ever get a chance to do.
I know. Just loving it. And I gotta say, the sewer lid has to be like the most accessorized thing in the Turtles line, would you say? A good old sewer cap.
You need a sewer cap.
Oh, you do. But yeah, I love that you're technically kind of getting a figure with this too, which is kind of cool. Yeah,
because obviously they've done the Mirage Fugatoid, but have they? I don't think they have done a Last Ronin, so I would imagine we've got to probably get a sort of non-battle damaged one down the line, because he did appear in flashbacks, you know. But that wasn't all. There was also one more, and this is, I guess, the big one. I mean, quite literally, a big boy here. The nude Ronin. Do we still do spoiler alerts for a story that's been out there for that long?
Hey,
if you haven't
gotten
read
on
it
it now,
yeah. So here you go. You've got the Ronin outside of his gear, and if you've not read the comic, it still doesn't necessarily give away who it is, does it?
Yeah. Exactly.
But you should stop watching this right now and go read the comic, because it's
go read it.
Great.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon now, though, the complete
it's relatively
for like
cheap,
$20.
isn't it?
It's like $20. It's hardcover. It's awesome. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine's somewhere up on it's up on the shelf up there in the corner.
Great series.
But yeah, it looks cool. Looks like a bruiser. I love the display options, the swappable arms with the bandages, the swappable heads. I'm loving that top left head, that like evil grin, like I'm gonna beat the crap out of you sort of grin.
Yeah.
And adding to the tea accessories that turtles like to come with here and there.
Yeah. I just can't believe it was Venus all along. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. God. It's cool. I don't know. When I first saw the images of it, I didn't know. It didn't grab me at first, but the more I'm seeing it, the more I'm like, it's a unique look. Never gotten a turtle like this before. It is the Ronin. It's from such a it's one of the few lines that I feel all in-ish with. There's still probably a figure here or there from it that I will miss out on. Speaking as much as we enjoy the character of Karai, I don't think that Karai figure looks very good. So might dip out, but I'm hoping there's still more legs with the last Ronin, because there's definitely still some characters out there. And now with the sequel series out there, I am hoping. I've not read any of it. I want to read a few issues, because I think I'm already in love with the designs for the next generation of turtles.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all it takes, right? You see a couple figures come out, and that's what motivates you. Like, better read about this, kind of get to know it, get me excited about it.
And these things, they're not too far away. August 2024 is an estimated arrival date for these. All up for pre-order now. The single figs, about $37. The 2-pack, $70, and the accessory pack, $50. So, not too bad, not too shabby. That basically does it, though, Jeff. A lot of turtle stuff. Ooh. So a lot of the old turtle news, and again, we touched on some stuff old, some stuff new. We missed a lot of stuff, we know that, but that's what this show's all about. We come back, we do it again next week. We talk more news, more reveals, all that stuff. But it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show, because we get to talk about our toys. We're done talking about toys that probably will be our toys, and we're talking about toys that are definitely going to be our toys. With the 3 Ps, purchases, pre-orders, and pickups. Jeff, how has the last 2 weeks been for you?
Full. Very full. Ate at the buffet. Start off some pre-orders, things we touched on in the show. I went ahead and I did order that Technodrome, the Playmates release. Wasn't going to do it. Was kind of on the fence. And then when we got to talking about it, it kind of made a lot of sense. It's the other option is trying to pay hundreds of dollars for the original versus $80 now. So I ended up pre-ordering that. It became available. So very excited. That should ship, I think next month, it says. So it'll be a nice little day. Do I have room for it? No, I don't. But we'll figure it out. We'll get there. I do have room. I just got to make room.
Yeah.
Next thing I pre-ordered was, the Rage Toys, Gil and Busty, aka Not Bebop. I mean, as we said, for that price, for the pack with the Cyberpunk pack and the original, ordered it through 5 Cave Toys. Can't go wrong, and super psyched about that. And I think that's the direction I'm going to go in. I kind of missed out on the Turtles, but I'll probably buy just the villains as they come out. So a rock
Yeah.
steady and a shredder down the road will be really cool.
I'll be the devil's advocate here and say that the website Gundamit has a very good sale on the Donatello and the Splinter, and the Leonardo is getting a re-release.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Stop that.
All I need is like the little devil ears now.
And you see, folks, this is why, like, when we get together, it's excess. It's terrible, in the best way though.
Yeah, gluttony.
So, yeah. So I pre-ordered him. I'm really excited to see what he's going to be all about. Then, as far as arrivals, I wanted to talk about two things this week, but I did want to mention something we talked about in the past. I did end up getting Dalsim and M. Bison from the Jada Toys Street Fighter line, and I won't go through the trouble of showing them off because we looked at them, and there's really not much else to say that we haven't already said. They're awesome. Jada Toys is truly killing it right now. One of the best just companies out there right now for what you're getting, value, all that good stuff. So love those figures. They're currently in display. But Frank, one of the things I did want to show off, that's up on a little shelf here, that did arrive was the first wave of the old Street Sharks. I alluded to. So we've got. So this is obviously the poster child right here. It's who everyone thinks of when you think of Street Sharks. Got the gimmick here going on.
How's that feel? I can, seeing you do that, I can just remember that. It's bringing back such a memory in my head right now.
And honestly, for what you're getting and everything going on with like this kind of soft rubbery plastic and the articulation, like these are pretty beefy figures. Like I'm loving these. Of course, we got this little gimmick here, which is so much fun. Just like the texturing too, with the scales and the arms.
It seems like they haven't missed a beat from the original figures.
That's the thing. They definitely embody the essence of those original figures with just the right amount of tweaks. Like it's all working. Just really loving it. And then maybe my favorite here from this first wave. I mean, you got the little mouth gimmick there, and then obviously this cool little thing going on. Just loving these guys. And honestly, I kind of wish they're doing something that I wish Marvel Legends would do. If we can't get the ball peg at the waist, at least make it so when you turn a figure, there's no overhang from the waist, so it doesn't stretch things. Like kind of like that. It's essentially a big circle, but it works. But yeah, loving these dudes. I'm thinking too, like when you're in town and we like hit up Walmart, I'm pretty sure we'll see these guys. Love the packaging too. Another
the cages,
cages, and you could repackage them too, which I love. So if you want to just hang them up on the wall or display them in their shark cage, you could totally do that. Everything breaks apart and goes back together really nicely. So if anybody hasn't taken advantage of these, I think they're available now on Big Bad Toy Store. They may still be up on Amazon, it'll probably fluctuate, but I got these from Amazon. They shipped immediately once they were ready. So yeah, really love that wave. And then Frank, the next thing and last thing I want to show, I went back in time a little bit to a simpler time for toys, kind of reaching back into that vintage era, but started something. This is a line I've looked at throughout the years and have always wanted, and the right thing at the right time came along on eBay. So Frank, I am starting to pick up these original Cardback reboot toys, as
amazing.
You can see here. I forgot how fantastic this toy line is, just with not just the articulation, but the paint detail. So we have Enzo here, which is funny because I like not really much of the names stuck with me other than like Megabyte.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, Enzo, that's right. We've got.
He was Italian.
Dot here, yeah, exactly. Dot here, who's reflecting my computer screen. You guys can see my email list. No. But yeah, we have Dot here on card. And then
the quality and condition of those cards looks great as well.
Yeah, they're pretty good. And now I'm in that state too of like, do I open these? Do I keep them on card? Because I made that mistake. And then one the final one I have here today is hexadecimal.
Oh,
This is a really awesome figure.
yeah.
This is what's making me want to open it up, because the interchangeable faces, wrong side, interchangeable faces here come off. I'm like, for like, what? These had to have come out in like 93, 94 maybe.
Yeah.
For what they are, maybe a little later, 95, but they're just awesome toys. So
Which company made those?
this was the Irwin Toys company.
Of course.
Right?
Urban Toys.
Who doesn't remember Irwin? So I actually bought these 3 in a lot for like $30. I was so happy to pick them up for that. And then I went back. I haven't gotten them in yet, but I have a Megabyte on the way, and I have Bob on the way. And then from there, I'll have to get Hack and Slash, the 2 robots.
Yeah.
I'll see if I could find them. And then the dog. I don't know if I'll be getting the dog. That seems to be a little
the pricey one of the
like
bunch?
over $100 on card. So if anything, I may pick them up loose in a lot. But I'm like, so far everything's going to be on card that I'm getting.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like ultimately I'll find space to maybe just put them up on the wall. But it's going to be, I have a couple drinks tonight, and next thing you know, hexadecimal gets ripped open and I'm playing around with the faces, because man, I really want to play with these toys.
I just remember the Megabyte being one of my favorite toys that I had, because he could. I remember he's got like the extending claws. He had a movable jaw. He could pop off at the waist. And I've come close to trying to get the Megabyte again, because just because of those good memories growing up.
Yeah, exactly. They were, I liked the show for what it was.
The show was really fun.
So cool.
It was one of one of the earliest examples of a fully CG show, like on television.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm excited about that, to get these other guys and finally have some of these figures in hand. So yeah, that was my lots of peas here.
I like it. That's 2 weeks of peas.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if the peas will ever stop like the news. It's just crazy over here. But you know how it goes.
Oh,
but
I've got an idea how it goes.
That's my report. So yeah, excited to see kind of what you have to bring to the table this week.
All right. So obviously it's been a couple of weeks. So try to go. Yeah, some pre-orders quick. One that we've already talked about tonight, and I did actually pre-order this on Gundamn, but that was the Shingen here. What I love about Gundamn as well is it's normally free shipping, and you can see here the deposits are quite small, but it's probably one of the most fairest priced sites I've found. Like, I've not bought loads and loads from them, but generally, when I see, for instance, those Rage Toys turtles go up, I try to wait for them on Gundamn, because it's now like my trusted source for like those third party
you want to support
sites.
it too.
Yeah. And they do a really good reward points program. So like for every dollar spent, you get rewards points, and then at any point you can turn those points into a coupon for X amount of money off. So
I really wish more places would do something like that.
Yeah, it's really good. And then I pre-ordered a new SH Figure Arts to add to the Kamen Rider collection, which is Kamen Rider Dread here, who is one of the baddies from like the latest Kamen Rider series.
Man, the word that comes to my mind is just wicked, and I never really think of that word, but it is a wicked looking figure. Yeah,
he's I'm relatively new to the world of Kamen Rider. Watched the Shin Kamen Rider movie, watched various bits and pieces. Obviously, they had, it's been in the ether. But Kamen Rider Gotchard, which is like the newest series, is the first one I've watched as it's been airing and start to finish. So I think they're on episode. They're in the 40s now, and every it's sort of like Power Rangers. Every series ends after a year, and then it's a new series with new characters and stories. So it's almost at the end of the series, and this character pops up from time to time. Just really cool. I've got the main character, so this will be a nice foil for them.
Nice.
So definitely looking forward to that. What else? There was a couple of things that came in, and
Nice.
you know, we've talked about it. It's a bit hard to put on the other camera, but I did get the Last Ronin Michelangelo. Actually had that shipped from Amazon USA to the UK.
Awesome.
It popped up on there, and the shipping wasn't actually that bad. Haven't opened them up yet because of the move and everything, but definitely, you know, again, excuse the glare, excuse the focus not working, because it wants to focus on my face probably. But looks great like the rest of them. Can't wait to get him on the shelf with his brothers. And now, desperately wanting to get Donatello, just so I can be like, right, that's the 4. And then very recently, as in when I got home and just before we hit record today, there was a package, and took a gamble. I don't know if you've seen this, but the new series of Earthworm Jim figures have been popping up on AliExpress, and I took the gamble, and this thing got here in about 3 days. There it is.
There he is.
So I got the Psychro here.
Nice.
And I've not had him out of the box for very long, but I can tell you this, in the few minutes I messed around with him, it feels fine. There's not a lot or much of any paint slop that I can see. And the only reason I didn't get the Jim was because I had him pre-ordered like on a normal website.
Okay.
But now there's a bit of me thinking, how long am I going to wait for that Jim? Maybe I just go, because basically, for those not in the know, the whole first wave of these, which have been a long time coming, are all up on AliExpress. They're all about $20 each, including shipping. And people are saying that it might be a first run of these figures that Premium DNA wasn't happy with. But
the QC thing.
Yeah, and I think some people have posted videos of their Earthworm Jims and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not seeing any QC issues.
No, he looks fantastic.
Joints move great. You know, I swapped out some hands already.
Yeah.
Hefty boy. Comes with a load of accessories. I also, it's not here yet, but I pre-ordered the head pack for Earthworm Jim.
Oh, nice.
Because that was only $10. And I didn't think I was going to get more than just the Jim, because, you know, they're a bit of a premium cost, like $55. I ordered the Jim through a reputable site, and I'm assuming it's going to be the main one, but now I was able to get this, and just holding this in hand sort of makes me want to go and get the rest of them. Like, they were like characters I wasn't necessarily interested in, but the quality, the size, everything, like, might have a little Earthworm Jim display going.
Yeah, it was such a cool, kooky design that really captures the time. This looks awesome.
The size of this
and the Jim
box
looks awesome
as well.
Too.
Like, all the bits he comes with: swappable arms, swappable heads. He's got the dome. The Jim looks great. Like I said, seen a couple videos online where people have, even with a few little QC issues, the Jims are still looking great. So
for that price, and it is good to see, like, Premium DNA has been able to right the ship and actually deliver on what their goals were. You know, especially with that Battletoads line. So happy to see this. That's looking really awesome. And it's funny, I was actually just scouting these figs on Big Bad maybe a couple of nights ago, like, interested in them, and I was like, man, that Jim, he does look. I mean, you know, if this render translates, they've nailed it, and it's looking like with that figure, they've definitely nailed it.
I'm hoping that, like, this whole thing of them being on AliExpress isn't, you know, I hope that doesn't impact the company, because it does seem like, you know, the Battletoads, the Mad Ball, the Barnyard Commandos figures, they've all, I mean, this is the first Premium DNA figure I've held in hand, and it definitely makes me want to, you know, I was on the fence. I've always loved the Barnyard Commandos original figures, so I was on the fence of trying to get some of the new ones. Battletoads was always a game that, you know, was up our wheelhouse. And again, you know, the anthropomorphic animals, reptiles could have fit in with turtles. So definitely going to be a lot more interested and a lot more keen to pick up Premium DNA stuff. And I know they've got like the Clay Fighter license they've shown off, and Banjo-Kazooie, just a whole bunch of like fun games from back in the day that never were properly represented.
Yeah, exactly. And always love to get, especially like 64 characters from games, beloved games. So yeah, that's awesome. And you have, I forget, did you end up picking up like the OG figure for that character? Did you ever end up getting it? I remember us seeing.
Not him. I bought the Rat Man. The
Rat Man, okay.
And I think I bought that back when you were in California and we went to that one toy store. Yeah. The one that didn't believe in COVID, I think. Right. But
names.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I think I was planning to get the gym. I only just pre-ordered the gym probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I was on the fence for the longest time because there was a part of me that was like, maybe I'll just buy the original figures because I've got the one. I like the designs. I can get them cheaper. But now this thing's got me.
Yeah, you have
sunk its claws in.
Yep. That's all it takes.
Hopefully they'll do a second wave with some more of those characters. But there you go. The 3Ps for another few weeks here. It's been busy. Quickly before we wrap things up, thinking outside the box, anything jumping out to you? I've there's been some new trailers out there, some films are coming on the way, some shows have come out and dropped, caught up a bit on The Boys.
Nice.
I'm only, I say caught up a bit, 2 episodes in, so I think I'm maybe 4 behind. Just saw the new trailers, a couple of new trailers this week, including new trailer for the new Captain America finally came out.
Yes.
Today, I think. So there's sort of lots to look forward to in media. And what's jumped out to you, Jeff?
Well, can I ask you, did you see, I'm sure you saw, and what are your thoughts on that Hellboy trailer that came out?
It's I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it definitely looks on the cheap side. But at the same time, the trailer doesn't give away too much, so I'll reserve judgment. I don't like how the guy looks in the makeup. It looks
it's
like
almost
Hellboy.
Uncanny Valley-ish.
Yeah, and he just seems too small, too skinny. And maybe we were
Cosby.
spoiled with, Ron Perlman and David Harbour, but you think of Hellboy, you think of sort of a bruiser, and this guy,
barrel-chested.
It's definitely going for like a horror vibe and everything. I get that. So it's the first one of the films that actually has Mike Mignola as a writer. So there are things that are like, I should be excited for, but that definitely didn't do the right thing, did it?
It seems from like a storytelling standpoint, it's taking the material seriously. It's going to handle it with hopefully the care, but the actual actor playing the Hellboy is just it's a little jarring. Like when I saw, I was just like, is this an AI thing?
Yeah.
Like, is this an AI trailer that they're just faking? And I watched it like, oh, that's the trailer. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Which it's funny, if it's any indicator, it seems like that's kind of where the world of Spawn movie, like a Spawn movie, might live at this point. McFarlane might just take it upon himself, like, I'm making it, I'm doing it for pennies on the dollar,
$50.
But
it'll be great. Win an Oscar.
But yeah, I'm interested in that. As far as, as you said, other trailers, movies coming out. Still excited to see Deadpool, Wolverine, that movie. Other than that, not much is going on. I did probably gonna add to the ranks of beat NES games. I did beat the Bucky O'Hare game on NES.
Oh, nice.
What a frustrating, hard game that is. Thank God you have unlimited continues. It took me a good day, and I was not going into it thinking I wanted to beat it or was going to beat it, and then I just kept going. Great NES games do. They just keep stringing you along. Like, no, I gotta beat it, gotta do it. But it's, if anyone's never played it, it's basically a Mega Man game with a rabbit and his friends. But what an awesome game. And I will say these repro carts, man, I'm all about it. I hope more people start doing this because really affordable. I popped it into that OG toaster NES, that the big fat one from back in the day. It fired right up flawlessly, which was good to me because, I'm always of that mind like, is it the game or the system or a little bit of both that's kind of deteriorating at this point? But the system handled it like a champ. It fired right up. So
nice.
Yeah, and I was down there reliving the glory days. Had a little pen and on a little napkin. I'm writing down the codes every time I'm beating new levels to get back to them. So yeah, it was just fun kind of doing that. So that was really how I'm spending my days at the house these days when I'm not shopping for toys.
I'm looking forward to when this work ends and just having a few weeks to finish off a few games. Just stuff I've started or stuff I've been wanting to at least dip a toe in, like I've not had any time for. But I've kept watching. I've been watching the Kamen Rider series, like I said, sort of week on week, and then I've also, again through the internet and its various corners, started watching some of the older, like Super Sentai shows, which are quite fun to watch. And then I watched on Netflix the new Ultraman, the animated one, Ultraman Rising, which was I think I probably even talked about that 2 weeks ago. It's been so long. But that's one I want to see. We need to. We're in that period of time where we don't currently have Netflix, but we'll pick it back up here soon. Things kind of rotate them in and out. You got to with like the sheer number of them. Yeah, it's like, okay, we'll pick up Max again once the Penguin show debuts. Start watching with that. It's a whole thing now, but I think. Did you see the trailer for the animated Watchmen, the newest one?
I have not. No. So.
I'm trying to, I want to give DC animated the benefit of the doubt, but they're breaking it up into 2 parts, and it's that sort of CG-ish animation, but emulating 2D.
Yeah.
And just judging from the images, it's funny because it's obviously trying to, adapt the comic, which, as we all know, is a very difficult task. And I know that people hate it. Some people hate it, but I think we both are in that camp of it really enjoying the Zack Snyder Watchmen.
Yes.
It's a great film. And to be fair, this animated one from the trailer, some of the shots look like they've lifted them straight out of the Zack Snyder one.
Really?
And it's just weird because it feels like DC would almost be wanting to like distance themselves, but a lot of it is very similar. They're all in their like normal comic costumes instead, but there's definitely some that they were like, that was cool, we're gonna do that. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out, just because DC Animation has a very good reputation. Obviously they do a couple of misses here and there, but it's Watchmen, so it's gonna be a tall ask, probably why they've broken it up into 2 parts.
And hey Frank, when you're here, depending on the day you're here, we could have a Saturday morning wake up and watch the new Mutant Mayhem series, because it's going to debut, August 1st or 2nd, I think, Paramount?
Are they all dropping as well, or is that
I don't know if they're all dropping,
thing?
But I will hold off, and we could watch that premiere together like we did with the 2012 series.
That's true. And I'm pretty sure we watched the first episode of Rise,
Yeah, we watched some Rise, which I actually like those. I actually can continue to watch some of those and actually watch the finale. Like, those are fun little shorts for what they were.
And I've seen clips and stuff from like the movie they used to end that series, and it actually just looks insane, like crazy animation.
Just love the end. The very last line of the series, Splinter's like, "Leo, you're the leader now," and he's like, "What?" And it just ends.
Looking forward to that. Looking forward to everything in the coming weeks. Like, it is, as we said, summer is here. It's upon us. Toys everywhere. Toys behind me. Toys behind you. Toys coming in the mail. Toys to pre-order.
Toys coming
to
at
talk
me from
about.
every angle. It's actually, my Bob was just delivered. I just see the eBay email come through, order delivered, reboot Bob. He's probably out there melting.
Oh, well, then let's wrap this up so you can go get that. So thanks everybody for joining us. Just a reminder to like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can find us at the Cardback Cafe on Instagram, where we're posting pictures all the time of our collections and things that come in the mail, reminding you when you can watch these. And subscribe over on the Kaiju Creative YouTube channel, because that is where these videos drop. And you can watch all of this, and you can watch some of the other series we've done, and hopefully some of the newer things that we will do, like shoot some content in a few weeks' time when we're both together doing stuff. So
never know the hijinks.
Exactly. Well, we need to do like a food thing too, like a cooking show with just our normal like midnight snacks.
Right. Oh man. Bring back the mac and cheese, which now I feel like I only have when you're in town.
Yeah, it's a treat, you know. The mac and cheese. I will say,
the Cheeto one was a big mess. It didn't translate. Did not translate.
It feels like it felt like that was almost going to be too much of a good thing.
I always felt like whenever I poured out the mac and cheese powder, I was like, "This is exactly what they put on Cheetos, right? It has to be." And then you taste it, you go, "Oh no, it's far different."
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, drop us in the comments, let us know what you liked, what you didn't like, if we missed anything you want us to cover next time. Just keep the engagement going. Tell your friends, tell your relatives, tell your enemies about the show, and we'll keep doing it. You know, we might miss an episode here or there, but I think we're in it for the long haul, as we've said. So looking forward to many more weeks talking toys with my best friend over here. So Jeff, until the next time, I guess this is it. Goodbye, everybody. Talk to you in a week or so.
I'm going to do the show like this from the next show, just this the entire time.
Oh, he doesn't have I can't move his mouth. So when I'm in New York and I get some street sharks, the street sharks are just going to start doing the show.
We'll do an entire street show. Look at this. It feels like my dog.